नमो नमः। सर्वेभ्यो नमस्कारः। Today is the fifth and last day of our classes on traditional values and Sanatana Dharma from Mahabharata by Dr. Karanam Nagaraja garu. We will start the session with Vande Mataram and then Prarthana. Krishna Kumar garu, please recite Vande Mataram, please.
सर्वेभ्यो नमस्कारः। वंदे मातरम् वंदे मातरम् सुजलां सुफलां मलयज शीतलां सस्यश्यामलां मातरम् वंदे मातरम् शुभ्रज्योत्स्ना पुलकितयामिनीं पुल्लकुसुमितां ध्रुवदलशोभिनीं सुहासिनीं सुमधुरभाषिणीं सुखदां वरदां मातरम् वंदे मातरम् वंदे मातरम्
Vande Mataram. Now let us request Sharada garu to chant Prarthana, please.
सर्वेभ्यो नमस्कारः। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। प्रथमं वयं सर्वे सम्यक् उपविशामः। मेरुदन् साक्षात् स्थापयामः। नेत्रे निमीलयामः। कृपया इतस्ततः मा पश्यन्तु। इदानीं ओंकारं त्रिवारं वदामः। ओम 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 ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमस्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पद आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ श्री महागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्रेयवतु। ॐ श्री महासरस्वत्यै नमः। गुरुरेव गतिः गुरुमेव भजे गुरुणैव सहस्मि नमो गुरवे। न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः मतिरस्ति गुरौ मां पाहि गुरो। ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यौ करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति।
ధన్యవాదములండి శారద గారు.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Now let us request our Guruji, Dr. Karanam Nagaraja Rao garu, to start the webinar, please.
शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्याये सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। Good morning all of you. Today is last class in the series of Mahabharata lectures. In the last 4 classes, whatever I have discussed, it is pertaining to Ihaloka. Ihaloka means that is Dharma, Artha, Kama. These type of things only we discussed. In fact, the Artha aspect we have not discussed in detail. And here and there, we can glean certain areas of Dharma on the Artha aspect. Kama we discussed, Dharma we discussed. Dharma with the reference to Dharma Vyada story. Kama with the reference to Hidimba Shurpanaka stories, like that. And first day, of course, introduction went on. And because every human being that is born upon this earth, according to our Sanatana Dharma, we are having 4 Purusharthas, Chaturvida Purusharthas. That is called Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. So here what they have designed is that each and every person's ultimate goal should be moksha only. Artha and Kama are there because in order to make a living in this world, we should have Artha, we should have Kama, both are there. Kama means ambition, not necessarily lust, something of that nature. Kama means it is actually any what is called desire is called Kama. Artha means we have to earn something. If you don't earn anything, you can't make a living. Thing is that here, Sanatana Dharma does not say that you should not earn. We should earn, because why we should, Grihastha is also equally respected. One more thing is that each and every person cannot become sannyasi. Some people can be in the stage of Grihastha only. Being a Grihastha, what are his duties? Being a sannyasi, what are his duties? Like that, though, so many things they have discussed. Basically, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. These are the four Chaturvida Purusharthas. I think this has been covered by some other person in the same series. But again, why I am touching is that now we are discussing with respect to a story we are discussing. Basically, Brahmacharya means he has to study only. Adhyanam only, he has to spend his time in the Adhyanam only. Leaving aside all other dharma, kama, and artha, and all these things, he should not touch upon those time. And he should be basically concentrating on studies only. And he will be there in Guru Ashrama, and he will be learning all these things. And whatever Guru tells, he will be listening. Like that, the stage goes on. Then once Snataka is over, he comes out. He will be becoming a Grihastha. When he comes a Grihastha, his duties are to provide what is called give food for all these people, because the brahmacharis he has to provide food, the gurus he has to give food, the sannyasis he has to provide food, and all these things these are his basic duties. For this he has to earn artha only. Without artha he can't do all these things. So that stage is actually he has to work and he has to earn. But when earning and all these things, it should be on dharmic path. Dharma is one thing, it is a fulcrum around which this kama and artha will be revolving. So without deviating dharma, you should earn artha. Without deviating dharma, you should pursue for kama. These are the two things which we have to very much remember. Dharma we should not follow. If we do like that, what will happen is that the ultimate thing is that you will be entitled for moksha. That is called initially what they happen is that once he attains the age of 60 years, or to be frank, in some other tests what they have written is that once a person's son is there, son's marriage has taken place, and son has got one more son. That is called once a grandson is born, this person is not supposed to live with these persons. He has to go to Vanaprastha only. Vanaprastha means he has to go to the nearby forest, wherein he will be spending his time. He cannot be a burden here. That is also there. Many aspects may be discussed here, because thing is that many persons used to go like that. Mahabharata, we come across occasions wherein once these persons attain the age of majority and they have got children, those persons begin to live. And we can take the example of Satyavati leaving the place, and then other persons. Of course, only person who remains there without leaving the place is Dhritarashtra only. Dhritarashtra will remain there only, Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. And on one occasion, when war is also over, then Vidura comes and tells them, and why are you still staying? You should have gone to Vanavasa by this time, Vanaprastha by this time. Still you are here only, go there like that. Then he leaves the kingdom and he goes to the forest, and there he was burnt in the fires and all. That story, that is a different story. But thing is that Vanaprastha is supposed to, every person is initially he has to go out for Vanaprastha. It is a preparatory stage. Even Panduraja has gone out like that. So what is the thing is that once they go out, it is a preparatory for ultimate moksha purpose, sannyasa purpose. He has to go there. He has to spend his life only in the adhyatmika pursuits, and then he has to take sannyasa and he has to move on like that. This is some stages are fixed here. Here we in the Mahabharata episodes, what we have discussed in the last 4 days, we are discussing the dharma, artha, kama, these aspects we were discussing. And today I would like to discuss moksha also I would like to discuss. When we are discussing moksha, we should have some knowledge of what is meant by swarga and what is meant by moksha. Because most of the persons will be confusing with these terminologies. What is swarga and what is moksha? And so that is why there are two stories are there. I would like to pick up two stories. One is called Indradyumna, one character is there. And one character is Mudgala, one more character is there. Both I would like to take out and try to discuss what is moksha and what is swarga. What is our ultimate goal in life? That is the idea here. Here thing is that there was a king some time back, maybe very old king, maybe Kruta Yuga or maybe this earlier 4 yugas, maybe some other Mahayuga, he may be there. That Indradyumna, one person was there, was a Rajarshi. Rajarshi means he is a Rishi Tulya, and he was also again a king. And he was interested in doing lot of meritorious deeds. Meritorious deeds means punya karmas he wanted to do. And his aim was that, objective was that he wanted to attain more heaven. So in order to attain heaven, he was doing that punya karmas continuously he was doing. And so many things, so many yagnas he was performing, so many yagas he was performing, and he was distributing a lot of dhanam, a lot of the charities he was doing. So he was become very popular, and millions and millions of cows he used to give, like that it is discussed in Mahabharata. Then because of his merits and all these things, he was taken to heaven. Once he died, he was taken to heaven. Once he goes to heaven, he was there in heaven. So thousands and thousands of years he was there, because so much of merit he has done when he was on the earth. So it was going on. Many Swargaloka people begin to feel that he is also one of the gods again, because every day they used to see Indradyumna. Indradyumna used to be there all the time. It was in such a situation. But ultimately what happened is that on one occasion, Indra comes to him and tells him, Indradyumna, your punyam got exhausted, because you have to go back to earth only. But Indradyumna was again pleading, your calculations must be wrong. I can't count my own yajnas. How many I have done, I too don't know. So many I have done. Because of this reason, I may be there here only for some more years. But please do once again your calculations. Indra tells, according to me, it is exhausted, and nobody remembers you also in the earth. Because if you have done so much of merit, somebody must be remembering on the earth. So nobody remembers you also. That is why you are destined to go back to earth, and again you have to born as a person. And then by telling like that, he wanted to throw away Indradyumna, because that is a situation. Because as long as Punyam is there, you can stay in heaven. When the Punya is over there, not even a single minute you are allowed to stay there. So he wanted to throw him away. At the time, Indradyumna pleaded, please give me a chance. I will go as per your command. I will go to earth. I will be just asking if any person still remembers me. Then Indra told, if still anybody is remembering your name, I think I can take you back, no problem. So Indradimya has got a chance. He comes back to the earth. Once he comes back to the earth, he wanted to know, because he was there some thousands and thousands of years back. He was there. The current day people can't tell his name also sometimes. So what he was searching was that he was searching for a person who is very old, very elder person, any elder person, the eldest person, any person is there. He was searching, and then he could know that there is one person by name Markandeya Maharshi. He survived the Pralaya also. Pralaya also, one Pralaya has happened, and then he is living. He is the only person who is living even after Pralaya also. And so he is one person. So he went to that person. And he was inquiring with Markandeya. Swamiji Maharshi, my name is Indradyumna. And I was there in Sargaloka for thousands and thousands of years. Now my time is over, Indra is telling. So now I have come to this place, and I got the information that you are the eldest person up in the earth. So I have come to you. Do you remember my name, like that? But Indrajit Markandeya tells, of course I am the very eldest person only, because I saw the Pralaya also, I saw, and subsequently also I survived. I saw Sri Mahavishnu in the what is called Ksheerasagara. So to the statement, I am the eldest person only, but still I most of my time I will be spending in meditation and devotion only. So other Laukika things normally I don't take care of, because some people will be there in doing some this type of activities, not even see the newspapers, no, like that. I don't know about kings and all these things. I have not seen by much. I know many stories of kings, I know, but still I don't remember your name, like that he told. Then he suggested, because you have come all the way so many thousands and thousands of years, you are there in Swargaloka, means you must have done something great. There is one person still elder to me, but it is an animal. It is actually, there is an owl. It is a bird. An owl is there. It is there in Himalayas. It is still elder to me only. Its name is Pravarakarna. Pravarakarna is there. He lives in Himalayan mountains. It is there. let us go to that Himalayan mountains. Like that. Immediately he got very happy, and he took Markandeya Maharshi also. He himself became a horse, and then he over it Markandeya sat, and both of them went to Pravarakarna. And they were asking Pravarakarna, 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 tell me whether you remember my name is so and so Indradyumna. I was there upon this turtle long back. Have you heard my name like that? The owl also told, I too don't remember, because there is one more elder person to me. That elder person is very near to that Kalinga Pradesha, it is there, Kalinga Lokam it is there. In Kalinga area, there is one crane. It is there. This name is Nadi Janga. Nadi Janga is there. So there it is there. One Indradyumna lake is there. Definitely it is there. So there we can go like that. So they go to Nadi Janga because something connecting the dots is happening. So they went to Nadi Janga. When they went to Nadi Janga told, I too don't know your name, but in the lake itself, there is one Indradyumna lake is there that I know. In the Indradyumna lake itself, there is a tortoise. The tortoise is the oldest person upon earth as far as I know. The tortoise is still living there. Once away it will be coming out, and it will be always in the hole only it will be there. It has become very old. Anytime it will die also, maybe it is there like that. So they went to that place, and again Indradimna was calling us out. That its name is Akupakam. Akupakam place. I am Indradimna, I have come like that. So many times they called, oh tortoise, come out, come out. It was not coming out. It was there in the hole only. Ultimately, Indradimna tells his name, my name is Indradimna, please come out if you are there like that. Then immediately after hearing it with all difficulty, it comes out. It comes out and falls on the feet of Indradimna, and it was telling, you are Indradimna, great that I have seen you like that. Then he will be asking, have you remember my name? Have you seen me? Something of that nature. How can I forget you? I can't forget you because this lake is because of you only, it tells. Because of me, how? He was telling. Then he was telling, this is the place where every time so many people will be coming here and asking for what is called Dhanam, they will be asking. And you are giving millions and millions of cows you are giving here. The cows used to come to this place. When the cows come with the hoofs, that is called leg will be there. Now, they, normally the cow or bull, whatever it may be, it will be hitting the ground and it will be plucking out the earth. We have seen. So so many cows at a time they will be coming and they will be hitting the earth with their hoofs. What happened is that with that hoof, when they were hitting the leg, or maybe when it is hitting the earth like that, yes, a saras has been formed here, a lake has been formed here. The lake, because once you die, what happened is that the entire lake is filled with water, and the entire world, even if there is no water, this place water is there. I have seen for so many years, I have seen so many yugas, I have seen all these times, most of the places water is not there, but this is the place water will never dry up. So that is why I am staying here only. Like that it tells. As soon as it finished telling, what happened is that Indra comes in a chariot. This what is called Indradyumna, your name is still remembered. So you have done lot of punyam. Come here like that. He takes, he wanted to take him and go out like that. Then this person tells, no, no, I will drop all these persons in their respective places and I will be coming. Please wait here like that. He tells. He drops Markandeya in his place, in his place like that. Respectively, he drops all those persons and he alights that place and he will go to heaven. This is the story. This is how the stories are built up. So once we will discuss this story, then we will go to the Mudgala story. We will go. That is, this is actually this is Swargam. What is Swargam here? We have to understand this Swargam in a decent, in a very clarity purpose. I will be discussing this story. Thing is that here, once a person is continuously doing meritorious deeds, and as long as his name is remembered upon the earth, he can be there in heaven. That is their place. Once he has given so many billions of cows, he has given, and because of by virtue of that, he was staying there in heaven. And but as long as his name is remembered there, to that extent, he will be there in heaven. That is why there the Mahabharata they will be writing Divam Sprushati Bhumim Cha Sabda Punyasya Karmanaha Yavat Sasabdo Bhavati tavat purusha uchyate, like that. Because as long as this the person's name is remembered upon this earth, to that extent a bell will be ringing in heaven. Because when the bell is ringing in heaven, what happens is that he can stay in heaven. What is heaven again? What is heaven? Heaven is actually a place. It is not actually ultimate destination that we have to remember. When you do punyam, or what is called a meritorious deed, you will be automatically, because with kamya karma, what we can call nishkama karma and kamya karma, two aspects are there. Because it is final day I am discussing this moksha aspect I am discussing, that is only nishkama karma and kamya karma. Kamya karma means Indradyumna is interested in going to heaven only. He wanted to have higher worlds. Because of this reason he has done all this punyam. Like Karna, yesterday I was discussing, I wanted to have yashas in this world. Because of this reason I am doing this vratam. Because when he is doing SS, he will be getting punyam, definitely he will be getting punyam. By virtue of getting punyam, because he is aspiring for a karma phalam. Here also Indradyumna is aspiring for a karma phalam. When he is aspiring for a karma phalam, what will happen is that the karma phalam will be, each and every karma will be binding on the person. Karma bandham will be there for punya karma and also papa karma. If you do papam, what will happen? Or sin, if you commit a sin, you will be destined to go to Narakaloka. That is there, you will be going there. That is inferior world, what we can call. If you are doing meritorious deeds, in your, according to your merit, you will be going there. And how long you can stay in heaven? And before that, what I would like to tell you is that as long as your name is remembered, you can be there. But as long as your bad name is remembered in Bharata, you will be in Narakaloka. That is also there. Mahabharata makes it very clear, because somebody's name is remembered for the bad reasons. So what will happen? He has to be there in Narakaloka for so many number of years until this subsides. People also have to forget his punyam or papam. Then until then he has to be there either this way or that way. And how long he has to stay there? Punyaloka. Punyaloka he can stay there as long as his merits get exhausted. Because it is like suppose we are going to some other country, say America, we wanted to go. We wanted to go there, we will purchase with our current, whatever money we are having in our purse, with that we will be purchasing what we can call currency of USA. We go there. As long as the currency is there, we can be there in USA. Once the currency is adjusted, you have to come back to again India. So in that way, because not that India is Bhuloka and America is Swargaloka, it is not like that, just for example purpose. So what will happen? You go there and again you have to come back. Here what is punyam? Punyam is also some like currency. The punyam currency got exchanged into what we can call heavenly entry. Heavenly entry, you can go to heaven. The punyam currency, as long as the punyam currency you are having in Swargaloka, you can be there in Swargaloka. And then you have to come back to Martyaloka. This is Martyaloka. Martyaloka means people will die and all these things will be happening. They will burn and they will die and all these things will be there. And you have to do all karmas. And Swargaloka, what is Swargaloka? Swargaloka is Bhoga Bhumi. Bhoga Bhumi means there you need not do any karma. But unlike America, if you go to America, you have to even clean your vessels. That is a different issue. And there, here at least we will be having some servant maid will be there. We will be very happy here. But the thing is that people will go to America and do all the things. And still they feel that India is bad and America is good. Of course, that is a different issue. We don't want to discuss. Here, anyway, you go to heaven. In the heaven, what will happen is that in the heaven, it is only a Bhogaloka. There you will be enjoying only. There will be there enjoying means there will be a lot of enjoyments, recreation will be there. There you will be there. And as long as your punyam is there, once punyam is over, then either you go to Narakaloka or you have to come back to Martyaloka. Once you come back, again you have to do karmas and all these activities, worldly activities, samsara bandha will be there, samsara you will be taking care and doing. And if you are having previous janmas merits or something is there, you will be here, and then what will happen is that you can do, suppose you have done a lot of punyams. This birth, what will happen is that you will be born as a still higher social status, maybe still higher social status it will be there, maybe more richer person, something of that nature. Again, you can enjoy something of that nature. But one difficulty here is that while again, when you born again here, what will happen is that you will be indulging in again so many activities with so many people you will be meeting and all this is. Again, if you do punyam only, you will be again going to heaven. If you do papam, again you may go back to what is called any creature, any bird or any other insect, like that you may have to born like that. But that is a very difficult issue because we can't know we are going to do in the next birth. So this is actually the samsara chakram will be there. No, the samsara chakram will be going on forever. It will be going on. So we will be doing some great punya with a purpose. Go to heaven or whatever it may be. And once it is exhausted, you come back again. You born here, and if you are good, okay, fine. If you are good and doing meritorious deeds, again you can go to heaven and you can come back like that. But you are doing something bad, you can't go to heaven. What will happen is that you will born as some other creature, some other prani. You may have to burn, and again you have to come to as a manava, and then from there you have to go to do karmas again, punya karmas, and again you go to heaven, whatever it may be. So this heaven has limitation. Punya karma is also a limitation. Papa karma is also having a limitation. But then what is there? Every time we'll be going on, we will born, come again. That is why only Shankaracharya will be telling Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani, Jatare Sayanam, like that. Shankaracharya very beautifully tells. So you will be born and again you will be die, again born, again die, like that it will be going on. What Indradimna, what happened? That also we can see. Indradimna, of course, it is not there in Mahabharata. Just like that I am telling because anyway connected to Indradimna story. Indradimna again, once he comes back, because by virtue of next birth, whether he has done punyam, we don't know. What happened is that because of this reason, he was destined to born as a elephant. He was born as an elephant. That is Gajendra Moksham elephant is there, no, that elephant. He was born as an elephant and he was there and again roaming in the forest, and it was there like that for thousand. It was having a lot of wives. Again as a elephant. It was enjoying like anything. It is a Mahabharata. It is discussed like anything because it's a single elephant, lot of wives. It was going on like that with all pride, prestige, and all this is. It was a king of all elephants like that. So much of discussion is there. That elephant, he was born like that. Once he goes to, we know the story of Gajendra Mocham. When he goes to that particular spot of that lake, again same lake only please, because that his correction is going on like that. Once he goes there, what happens is that, and there again he was actually caught by a crocodile. When he was caught by a crocodile, he fought with the crocodile for 1,000 years. He fought. 1,000 years he fought. Until then, he did not remember the name of Mahavishnu, even though he was a very good meritorious deeds he has done in the previous birth. 1,000 years he could not remember the name of the God. He was fighting like that. You believe it or not, God will not come to your rescue unless you prostrate before him and say that it is I can't do anything, it is your responsibility to take care of me, then he will take care of you. But as long as you are having the pride that ahambhava means I-ness is there, he will not come to you. That is the reason why there is a small story Ramana Maharshi used to tell. The story is that a person was going on the street. When he was going on the street, a dog was barking against him. When the dog was barking against him, he was actually a great devotee of Mahavishnu. Lakshmi sees that and he will be telling that our devotee only is going there. A dog is chasing him. Why don't help him? Vishnu gets up. Let me help like that. When he gets up, what happened is that they see on the earth. Immediately, this man is taking out a big a stone and he wanted to hit it. Then Vishnu sits. Then Lakshmi asks, "Why are you sitting again? You have risen up and you wanted to save the devotee, and again you are sitting like that." See, that man is trying his own strength. He is believing. As long as he believes his own strength, let him believe. Why should I go like that? So God will not come to your rescue as long as you have that ego. Once you have to surrender unto the God, then only what will happen is that God will be coming to your rescue. Here also, Sri Vaishnavas particularly what they believe is that Vaishnava Sampradaya, Mahabhagavatam is a Vaishnava Sampradaya. No? So what they will be telling is that this elephant could not remember or recollect the name of Vishnu, even though he has done so many meritorious deeds in the previous birth. Thing is that he has forgotten, totally forgotten. At the time, at the fag end of his death, he is about to die. At that stage, because of his Purva Janma Samskara, that Purva Janma Samskara was actually a spark-like thing which made it awoke. It has waken up. It was waken up and immediately it remembered the name of God. When it remembered the name of the God and called aloud Vishnu, and Vishnu immediately came there and rescued it. That is how they tell. And here, just before commencement of this session, some person was asking because before the recording was done, some person was asking a question. The question was that whether this Itihasas Puranas have really happened. So here we can see that this person, this story, entire Indradimna story is there. No, when he goes to that place, one person Akuparana, he will be telling that here only Indradimna lake is there. That is Indradimna lake is in Kalinga area, like that. Even now also, if you go to Orissa, this particular lake you can see Indradimna lake is there very nearer to Puri. If anybody goes to this place, you can go to that place. Some beach is there. Beach name, some name is there. Some Bhagirathi beach, something of that nature. It is there. If you go to that beach and this is still that the saras is there. In the saras, crocodile saras, actually, this entire thing is full of crocodiles. It is there because a crocodile is a person which ultimately told the name of the Indradimna. No? Because of this reason, it is a crocodile lake is there. Very near to Pune, it is there. The lake name is called Indradimna Lake. Even people call it as a Indradimna Lake only. And subsequently, one more way of elaboration is that, and some 200 kilometers distance from that place, Vishnu has taken the avatara, Kurma avatara. Kurma is again tortoise. That it is there, Srikakulam area. It is there. Srikakulam and that Puri is not very far off. No, it is quite nearby, some 200 to 250 kilometers distance. So there, Kurma avatara is there. We are having the Kurma avatara, that Vishnu Swarupa is there in the Srikakulam area. So connecting to these dots, what will happen is that in Mahabharata times, they have written that some Indradimna lake is there in this place. In Indradimna lake, tortoises are there. In the tortoises, even now also the tortoises are there, and they don't leave the place. And very near to that, Kurmavatara has also happened. So like this, maybe if you believe all these things, if you begin to connect these dots, maybe some evidence of this nature we come across. So this is Indradyumna goes there and he was staying there and again comes back born as an elephant. This is this entire story of Indradyumna. Then he has not attained moksha. What is moksha here? Moksha is here is actually there is one story I would like to tell. There is and a very similar type of story, of course. And there is one Rishi by name Mudgala Maharshi. You must have heard this name Mudgala Maharshi. Mudgala Maharshi is actually even now also like a Gautama Rishi is there, Mudgala Maharshi is there. And when we tell our Pravara, what we will be telling is that what is your Gotram, if they tell, we will be telling that it is a Gautama Gotra, it is Maudgal is a Gotra, and it is Vishwamitra Gotra, like that people will be telling. This Maudgal is a Gotra is also one of the Gotras. And then this Rishi, his lineage has become Maudgal is a Gotra. So Mudgala Maharshi is such a great person. This Mudgala Maharshi actually when he was living, was a very poor person, very poor Brahmin. He was not having anything to eat, that person. But he was actually, this story how it comes up in Mahabharata is that, and on one occasion Dharmaraja will be asking Vedavyasa, Swamiji, please tell me, which is more important, which is great? Dhanam is great or tapas is great? Among these two, between these two, which is greater? So he was asking a very specific question. He was asking, somebody is doing dhanam and somebody is doing tapas, which is great. Then Vedavyasa clearly tells one thing. Dharmaraja, see Dharmaraja, I will tell you, any person, people will be always trying to earn money like that. People will be earning. Even Mahabharata times itself, this what is called this type of society has emerged. That is how we can able to glean. We can glean. Here, people will be trying to earn. For the sake of money, what they do is that they can work as a servant in some other person's house. Also, they can earn. They can do all bad deeds. Also, they can do. They earn money. This type of people are emerging in this world. So because of this reason, they don't want to spend even one paisa also out of their earnings. Such a bad persons are coming out. According to Sanatana Dharma, at least some amount has to be given out for charity. Each and everywhere, whatever you earn, once your salary is created, you are supposed to give something to some other person, because it is how you have to behave in the world. But people have become such a bad persons that they will be earning by bad ways. They will be earning and they will be keeping the entire money with them only. This is how people are behaving. So tapas, somehow people can do, tapas can do. They will be sitting there and they are not spending any amount from their packet. But here it is not like that, because dhanam is something from the core of what. If somebody is giving that dhanam is, the dhanam person is greater than the person who is doing tapas. But again, dhanam, if you are doing the sake of the publicity, that is not the dhanam at all. Yesterday we saw the story. Dhanam, how it should be given. If you are asking for pratyupakara is there, means you are not supposed to give. And again, if you want to get a fame, name out of it, you are not going to get any phalam, you are not going to get it. And again, there are some other limitations are also there for dhanam. If you are giving and you give some dhanam, and if you take a photo, that is not at all dhanam. And if you give the dhanam and tell your name, you suppose you go to a temple and you go to a temple and you will be telling today's entire function is the expenses I will be bearing, and then they will be taking your name and all this is they announce your name. So and so person has given so much of money for this today's annadhanam like that. Then you don't get the dhanapam. What you are to doing to do that, to give the amount to them, tell that don't pronounce my name. Even if the pronouns are don't pronounce your name will not be remembered subsequently, that we have to know. But people will be having the craving for listening their name again. So what will happen is that I have seen many times Mantralayam I will be going. I used to go. Whenever Mantralayam goes, the food will be served at that day. Then Swamiji will be telling today's the entire expenses are borne by some person. He is there from Vizag. Yes, I have heard it. What is the use of it? Have I remembered his name? So instead of that, if he doesn't tell his name, what will happen? At least somebody tell some person has given, some bhakta has given it. Fine, that should be good. But here, if you do all this, is dana phalam will not be coming. All this is discussed in the Indradimna story. Only it will be discussed. So here, what happens is that the Mudgala is a very poor person, but still, what he is doing is that he is not expecting any name, any fame, nothing like that. He was actually doing Uncha Vritti and Shilo Vritti. Shilo Vritti and Uncha Vritti are these two things normally in earlier days people used to do. Thing is that they don't want to go for Bhiksha also. Going there and what is called disturbing some other person's house. Time I will see just time is there. And he will not go like that. What he will be doing is that Shilo Vritti and Uncha Vritti. Shilo Vritti is actually what is Shilo Vritti is that normally these farmers will be coming and plowing the land. When they plow the land, what will happen is that here and there some grains will be left out. Maybe some ragi or something of that nature will be left out. Sometimes the spikes are also left out. Spikes also they will take out most of the spikes with all the ragi and all these things they will take out. Only thing is that here and there one or two spikes will be spike. They will be leaving some spikes and sometimes some grain also because they can't take it. They will go away. Once they go away, what will happen is that the field is actually open for anybody to take it. So in that field, he used to go there, Mudgala, and he used to pick the grain, left out grain he used to pick out. With that grain, he will come out, and he is in the habit of taking food only 2 days, Amavasya and Purnima. No other day the cooking will not happen in the house. And these 2 days, Shilo Vritti, that is called Shilo Vritti. Uncha Vritti means picking up the spikes. The same thing only, of course. Spike, whatever left out spike is there that he will take out the grain one after another, and then with that they will be cooking the food. Once they cook the food, invariably he used to serve to one guest. One guest, one Atithi should be there. One Atithi he has to serve the food, and then only the family members will be taking the food on that day. This was his habit. So the Indra was very much pleased by his offerings every time. Even though he is offering with this type of food he is offering, personally he used to come there and he used to take it from the skies and he used to go away. His name and fame, even though he did not expect any name and fame, it spread like anything. And one day Durvasa wanted to test him. Durvasa comes there, and one Amavasya day he comes and he prepares the food like that and he serves the food for Durvasa. Durvasa has eaten the entire thing, nothing is left out. So nothing is there for them also. And he goes out. And again, in the Paurnami day, again he collects grains like that. Over the 15 days period, he used to collect the grains and he prepared the food again. And they prepare the food, and by the time Durvasa comes, again he gives it without any hesitation, without any feeling in his mind, without any facial expressions. Nothing is there. With all duty, humility, and all this is all the people in the family come there, serve him, and they used to take only water only, and all the food was served to him. Like that, Durvasa came there 3 Amavasyas and 3 Paurnima. 6 times he came there. All the 6 times in the same mode, with all humility, with all devotion and all these things. All the family members served the food to him. Then I was very much happy. He was very much happy. And Durvasa tells, Udgala, I have seen so many persons. Because once at the time of taking food, at least people will get angry. People, if somebody comes and taking away the food means they will get angry. Hunger is one thing which normally no human being can control. If the hunger is there, they forget even their children. And the hunger is there, they forget even their family members. They will take the food because in order to sustain their lives, that is their habit. Even Vedavyasa, such a great person, when he goes to Kasi, when hunger is there, he wanted to curse Kasi itself. That was the situation, no? So here you are the person who has conquered this hunger. You have conquered all these things and you are serving food without any hesitation and all these things. I am so much pleased with you. And you are destined to go to heaven like that. Once he tells like that, immediately on the skies there appears a chariot of Indra, and Indra comes there and he wanted to take Mudgala. Indra's what is called Sarathi, Matuli, I think Matuli, I think. He comes there and he wanted to pick him up like that. Then he did not go immediately. What he will be asking is that of course Durvasa leaves that place, and this then Mudgala will be asking, oh, so you have come from Swargaloka. I give a lot of respect to you, but what is, I don't know about Indra Swargam and all this is. What is Swargam? Oh, what is a thing like that? Then he will be telling about Swargaloka. Swargaloka is a Bhogabhumi. You can stay there because your punyam you have done, lot of punyam merit you have done. Because of this reason you go there. Then what? He was asking. I will be there. How long? You will be there as long as your punya is there. Once your punya is getting exhausted, you have to come back to this earth only. Again you have to be indulging in this type of karmas only. Now in this birth you are doing this karmas and all these things. But again, if you come back, you will not be remembering what you are doing now. Maybe you may be doing some other activity, good activity, bad activity. We don't know, depending upon your karma pala and all these things, you will be there. So you will be like that. And then Mudgala was telling, then if I am going there and again coming back, what is the use of coming there? My stay will be there for some days only. Then heaven is going to assure happiness and pleasure. But Swargalokam is a Sukhalokam, I agree what you have discussed. But the Sukhalokam is not forever, and I have to come back. So what I wanted to do is that I don't want this temporary happiness. If happiness is there, that happiness should be permanent. Happiness should be there. I don't want to come to this place, Swargaloka. And is there any place where we can't come back to Martyaloka? We can be in bliss. Anything is there. He tells that is called moksha. That is called Vishnu Loka. People call. So normally Bhagavad what is called Bhagavatam, we tell that it is Vishnu Loka. But normally Adhyatmika people tell that it is a moksha. It is a moksha. In that place you will be there, and you will remain there forever like that. No, again by born and again dying. This activity samsara chakra will not be there. You will be like that. Then what I should do like that? Then he will be telling that what you are doing is that you have to be what is called a nishkama karma. Nishkama karma, nirmama, nirahankara, nirdvandva, sanyatendriya, dhyana yoga parasyaiva tatra gachanti manavaha. So here what you are supposed to do is that you should have any sangatvam, nissangatvam should be there. No attachment at all. Whatever deeds you are doing, no attachment with that particular activity. Then again, whatever activity you are doing, you do that activity with the nishkama karma. And again, you do that activity with the Indriya Nigraha. You go beyond what is called Dvandvas. And then you do each and every activity, the Ishwararpada Buddhi only. You don't expect a punyam, you don't expect any narakam, something of any papam, something of that nature. Do your duties and be there like that. And then that will lead you to a place where you can get jnanam, and from that jnanam you can become what we can call, you can be in Atma, what is called Atma Paramatma Tattva, you will be there. That itself is moksha. There will not be karma bandham, will not be there. Karma bandham prahasyasi, like that Bhagavad Gita it will be telling. But it will not, you will be going there and you will be like that. It is not going any place. You will be there only and you will be remaining in that place. Once this body drops down like anything, your Atma will remain in Paramatma only. That is ultimate goal, moksha, like that you will be telling. Then immediately Mudgala says, then please go away. I don't want heaven. I will be here only. Then immediately what happened is that he sits for what is called meditation. And from that time onwards, what he was doing is that earlier activity he was doing, because with all Nishkama Karma earlier also he was doing. Now what he is doing is that with all other activities, with everything, whatever he does in the house or whatever activity is a nirmama, nirahankara, all this atita of dvanda, like that he was sitting like that and he was trying to attain this Swargaloka. Ultimately, he drops down his body and he attains Swargaloka. And how he this Swarga comes, and this topic I will be discussing with reference to Bhagavad Gita. Then Bhagavad Gita, and I think it is the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna will be telling, Lokesmin Vividha Nishta Pura Prokta Mayanakha. Jnana Yogena Sankyanam, Karma Yogena Yoginam, like that he will be telling. There are two paths leading to Swarga. What are the two paths? One is Sankhya, one is called Karma. Karma, that is called Yoga. Karma Yoga is on one side, Jnana Yoga is on the other side. Jnana Yoga is that you will be actually feeling that this body is not mine. Because why this body is not you? I can tell you one thing. Say here, because people immediately they don't take it, because all these type of things, unless you go sit with the guru and learn all these things, sit with guru and the guru will be explaining the aspects, then only you can understand. By way of single lecture, you can't appreciate this aspect also. If you say that your body is not your body, you say what foolish thing you are telling. It's not like that. The thing is that suppose you are having a pen. You say that this is my pen. This is my pen. This is my book. Like that you will be telling. Like that you will be telling. This is my hand. This is my hair. This is my eye. Like that. Suppose there is some problem has happened to your hand, and hand has to be amputated. The hand is amputated, and you say that my hand has gone, and your leg has amputated. Assume like that. Leg has gone, hand has gone, something has gone, something has a ear has gone, something has gone, something has gone. Still you want to say that I wanted to live. Who are you then? You are not your hand, you are not your leg, you are not your body. And every part is going. Ultimately, doctor will be telling that your heart is not functioning properly. New heart has to be inserted here. Something new device we are going to insert. This heart we have to take it out. Yes, let it go. No problem. I have to live. Who are you then? And you have to think over all these things. If you think over all these things, then only you can come to Bhagavad Gita classes. Otherwise, you don't come to Bhagavad Gita. You don't hear Bhagavad Gita also, as long as all these things are there. So here, this type of questions we have to make out. They go, who am I then? That we have to think over. So this is Sankhya Yoga tells that the body is not you. You have to think in that fashion only. Ramana Maharshi, believe it or not, he was having a lot of wounds over his body. Even the small insects were also infested in this body. And then on one occasion, it so happened that this Kavyakanta Ganapati Shastri was his Shishya. He was there with Ramana Maharshi, and he was a person who made about Ramana Maharshi known to the people, to the world as a whole. Until then, he was there in Arunachalam place, and he was not known to any person. Such a great yogi type of person. And then nobody was knowing him. Only Kavyakanta Ganapati, when he goes there and he saw this great gentleman with a lot of knowledge and all this is, and then he began telling about this person to other world, and people used to come and see him like that. Like that, his name and fame spread. Until then, he was not known to anybody. And this person, Ramana Maharshi, was having wounds. And the insects you used to be there all the time. And on one occasion, when he turns his hand like that, the insects were falling down. And immediately he sits there and he wants to pick up all these things and he wants to put there again. Now, all the insects he wanted to put back again in the wound. Kavyakanta Ganapati Shastri will be asking, what are you doing, Swamiji? What is this like that? Anyway, this is not my body. These insects are at least surviving on these wounds. Let them survive. Like that, he used to put back again. This type of activity, who can do this type of activity? What is the maturity level the Swamiji was having? So here, the thing is that here, if you feel that as long as this body is mind, you will be working for this body. Once you go beyond this body and try to understand what is Atma, that is not easy to understand by way of single lecture or like that. You have to sit with Guruji for number of years because anything for me, believe it or not, I was teaching for MBA students. On one occasion, there was one professor used to argue with me. What is there in Bhagavad Gita? Nothing is there. Like that. Then he was always arguing like that. On one occasion, I asked him, so, sir, can you tell me how many hours you have spent for studying Bhagavad Gita? I studied it in 3 hours. He told. Okay. For teaching this MBA students, how many years you have studied that management theories and all this? He was telling that at least a degree after degree, degree BBA I studied 5 years and then MBA 2 years and then PhD another 4 years. 5 plus 3 plus 2 plus 12, 15 years I spent and again 4 or 5 years like that. Then you have spent some 15 to 20 years for teaching my MBA students. And now you are telling that for Bhagavad Gita you have read 3 hours. Then how can you say that you have read Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita, for reading Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads and all this is you have to spend your time and then only you will be understanding the nuances of this life. Otherwise, this life Shastra can't be learned. No 2 hours, 3 hours, or even now also I will be telling Mahabharata stories whenever I tell in different places. People will be telling that I know the story. And you know the story. What is the implications of the story? That is more important. The implications nobody will be seeing. Only they see the story. Bhima has killed Duryodhana. Fine. Bhima has killed Duryodhana. Any small child also will tell what is the greatness you have learned out of that story. The thing is that each and every story will be having some background. Each and every story will be conveying some message. That message aspect you have to search. Mahabharata, for searching Mahabharata, actually Mahabharata is a moksha grantha. Dharma Grantha, Moksha Grantha like that. So that is the reason why we are having Bhagavad Gita, we are having in Mahabharata, what is called Sanasujati, it is there, Vidunoniti is there, Sivastuti is there, Vishnu Sahasranama is there. Shankaracharya will not be writing Bhashya for many things, he don't write, he doesn't write. What he has written is that Vishnu, what is called, um, so Vishnu Stuti is there, what is that one? There for that he has written Bhashyam, Bhagavad Gita he has written Bhashyam, and he has written like that. So Bhashyam writing means it is a great thing, no? That to that extent. So all these things are actually all these are there in Mahabharata only. Mahabharata will be discussing all these things. And here, so moksha means actually moksha is a thing which we have to attain by virtue of knowing the what is called Atma, Paramatma, and all these things. That Tattvam, if you know it, that itself is moksha. Then there will not be any detachment. If you see Atma in each and every prani, you can't you cannot inflict any harm to any prani. And you will be taking each and every prani as Vishnu only. Vishnu means Vyapaka Silat Vishnu, like that people will be telling. He will be there everywhere. The book he is there, in the glass he is there, in the pot he is there, in the each and every prani he is there. If you look each and every object as Vishnu, then what will happen? There will not be any enmity in the world as a whole, and that itself is for the moksha only. So to that extent you have to rise. And people, Bhagavad Gita itself will be telling is that out of millions of people, there will be one person who will be saying this type of activity, this type of maturity level he will be achieving. So once you achieve, you have to try for that. That is there. Not that he can't be achieved. Anything can be achieved. No, that is the thing. For achieving this, it is not so easy. For achieving that, see, any other subject matter, if you see geography is there, mathematics is there, robotics is there, engineering is there, AI is there, whatever you take it, everything can be learned if you are having what we can call analytical ability is there. Analytical ability is there, intellect is there, you can understand any subject with great difficulty or easiness, whatever it may be, depending upon your intellect, wavelength and all these things you can understand. But this, for understanding Adhyatma Vritti, what is more important is this, the Antahkarana should be cleaned first. Others matters, you are a good person, bad person, you are a criminal, whoever it may be, you can learn all these things. But here, criminals and all these persons cannot understand this, what is Adhyatma Vidya. That is called going to moksha. Attaining moksha is not possible for them because you should have the Chitta Shuddhi should be there. Antahkarana Shuddhi there. That is the reason why Krishna tells that there are two ways. One is called Sankhya Yoga. If you can't go in that fashion, if you can't understand Atma Paramatma Tattva in that level, you do what is called Karma Yoga with what is called Ishwararpana Buddhi you do. What will happen is that when you do any activity with Ishwararpana Buddhi, what will happen is that you will be getting a lot of freedom. Suppose you are, say, a small example, one lady is there cooking in the house and other persons are not at all doing any activity. What she will be feeling, I am doing all these activity, other persons are not doing these activities, she will be comparing. Don't do all these things, don't compare. It is your, anyway you are doing from some time only you are doing. In this sometime I am doing this activity with Ishvara Arpana Buddhi, I am doing. Whatever I do, for pleasing the God only I am doing, like that. You do your activity and come out. What will happen with Nissangatvam? I am doing like that. I am the person who has brought up this boy. I am the person, this boy is born to me and I have brought up, I have given him education. Who have given education? Who have given education to you? Your father has given, you don't feel, think that it is God only has given, because the person has been born. And why my wife has conceived? She feels that I have given birth. Who has given birth? See, but the small child is born in the womb and then he is born. If you say that should not born, he will not born. If you say that only white accomplished person only should be there, you can't decide anything. The person will be born according to his punyam and papam only, he will be born. And you can't decide anything. Even if we impart so much of education, sometimes the person will not be very dullard person only will be there. And you can't do anything, you can't decide any, you may be actually by way of doing certain activity, you feel that it is Ishwararpana Buddhi. Because of this attachment, what will happen, as long as this boy he is there, he will be remembering that this boy is born to me and I have given birth to him, I have given education, I have made him marry, and he is child is born, and all this is, are you responsible? You are not responsible. If you feel like that, to that extent, if you are having that, what is called Nisangatvam, what will happen is that you otherwise what will happen, at the time of death also you will be feeling, I have done everything to him, he has not done anything to me, like that. What you have done, he has not, you have done. This Nisangatvam is there. What will happen is that lot of expectations will drop down. For all these things, some maturity should be there. For that attaining maturity, Karma Yoga is designed. So here, what is being told to Mudgala is that you do that Karma Yoga. When you do that Karma Yoga, what will happen? Dhyanat yogat balam labdva prapya buddhi manuttamam jagama shashwatim siddhim param nirvana lakshanam. Like that, Mudgala story, they will be concluding. Thing is that you do this type of Karma Yoga, you begin to do that Karma Yoga. When you do this Chitta Shuddhi, your Antahkarana will become clean. When your Antahkarana is clean, where the Jnana will be coming there, because Antahkarana Bhagavanta will be there. He will be, that light will be coming, emerging out. As long as Chitta Shuddhi is not there, just as sun's reflection cannot be there on a mirror which is having full of dust. Similarly, the dust has to be removed. Once the dust is removed, mirror will be getting reflected, sun's rays. Similarly, the Bhagavanta's rays will be getting reflected only when the Antahkarana Shuddhi should happen. Antahkarana Shuddhi will happen only when you indulge in Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga means Ishwararpana Buddhi, Nisangatvam, Nirmohatvam, like that it should be there. Once that is there, you will be attaining this, what is called one area you will be coming up across. Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga are not two different aspects. Jnana Yoga, what will happen is that Karma Yoga, in Karma Yoga, you can enter into Jnana Yoga. With Jnana Yoga, what will happen is that you will be attaining moksha. Like that, if you want to go to America, you are going, I am going to America. That doesn't mean that I am going in a single flight. I will be going there, Dubai, I will be staying there for some time, and one more flight I will catch hold up and go to America. Like that, Karma Yoga is going up to Dubai. And from Dubai, one more flight will be taking you to USA. Like that, here also. What is more important is that you will be indulging in karma yoga with Ishwararpana Buddhi, Nishkama Karma and all this is what will happen is that you reach a stage wherein Chitta Shuddhi will be happening. From Chitta Shuddhi, the God's rays will glow in your Antahkarana. From that, you will be attaining moksha. This is Ekeha Kurunandana, like that. Because what will be Bhagavanta will be telling is that it is actually not two different paths. Two different paths, it appear to be two different paths. But one path will be leading to another, and from there you will be going there. Yamuna river will be merging with Ganga river, and then it will become a Ganga and it will be going like that. Here also same thing they will be discussing. So here Mudgala, he refuses Swargaloka and he indulges in this karma yoga activity, and with this karma yoga activity making his karma clean, and with that jnana as emerged over his antahkarana, and with that he goes to Swarga, he attains moksha. This is moksha is something where there will not be any birth and death will not be there. Buddhists they call it as nirvana, and here we call it as moksha. We will call it as moksha. This is a story of Mudgala and Indrajumna. I think time is over, I believe. Oh, 7:37 already it is over. My time is already over. Okay, I will leave the class now. If anybody wants to ask anything, they can ask.
First, let me see in the chat box if there are questions, then we will go.
I think nothing is there, sir. Hari Om, Shubham Bhuyat. Only good mornings, only Hari Om. Like that.
Yeah, there are no questions as such.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
So now, anybody wants to ask questions directly, you are all allowed to unmute.
Good morning, sir. Can you explain the concept of Sharanagati?
Sharanagati.
Oh.
Sharanagati is actually you say that I don't have anything to do, and ultimately Shishyasteham Shadhi Mam Tvam Prapannam, like that Krishna Arjuna will be telling with Krishna. What is that? He will be telling so many aspects. He will be discussing. When the Bhagavad Gita starts now, in the Bhagavad Gita starts, he will be telling that there will be what is called Varna Sankara will be happening, and so many other things, because we will be indulging in the Yuddha, whereas Himsa will be there. So many activities he will be telling. Ultimately, he is deluded. Deluded means he doesn't know which is Dharma and which is Adharma. Ultimately, he prostrates before Krishna and tells that Shishyasteham Shadhi Mam Tvam Prapannam. Will you think that I am your Shishya? Do you tell me whatever I wanted to do, I have to do? Then that I will be doing, nothing else. That is called Sharanagata Vatsalata. Sharanagata Vatsalata means you surrender yourself unto the God and say that I have nothing to do because my intellect is not working. My physical indriyas are not working anything more. And now I surrender myself unto you. You take care of me. Like that, if you surrender unto himself, that is called Saranagata Vatsalata. It is more prominent in Vaishnavism. Vaishnavism says Sri Ramanujacharya believes in the system of what is called Saranagata Vatsalata. He used to give a lot of importance to Saranagata Vatsalata. That is why you pray. I am I am giving, I am actually helpless. You are the person who have to take care like that. Then that is called Sharanagata Vasalsa. Shishyasteham Shadhi Vam Tvam Prapannam. That is a famous word. That is why Bhagavad Gita, Sri Vaishnavas will be telling me that this is the greatest shloka in Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita. You surrender unto God. That is called Sharanagata Vasalsa. Then you do like that, he will be taking care of you.
Okay, thank you.
Namaskar, Guruji. Does Bhakti Yoga falls under Karma Yoga? As you said,
Yes.
Dhyana Yoga.
No,
Jnana-
Bhakti Yoga will be falling under Karma Yoga only, because you see that Bhakti Yoga is mentioned in Mahabharatam as a third path. Three paths they have mentioned. Three paths are mentioned in Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam. What they will be mentioning is that one is Sankhya Yoga, that is Jnana Yoga. Second is Karma Yoga. Third one is Bhakti Yoga. They have mentioned because it is a Bhakti related book. No, that is why they have mentioned like that. But Bhakti also will fall under Karma only. Suppose Bhakti is there, what you will be doing? You may be having to do some puja. For doing puja, you have to do karma only again. So that is why in Bhagavad Gita, what they have done is that Lokesmin Vividha Nishta Pura Prokta Mayanaga. Jnana yogena sankhyanam, karma yogena yoginam, like that. So normally what will happen is that they will be putting other things here only. Suppose any activity is there, activity is there. If so means the Sushma Amsas will be going to Jnana Yoga and Sthula Amsas will be going to Karma Yoga, like that. Suppose you want to do some Yajna with Nishkama Karma, then what will happen is that the Sushma aspects will be going to Jnana Yoga, and the Sthula aspects, that is called arrangement, all these things, putting Purohits and giving all dakshinas, all this will be falling under Karma Yoga, Nishkama Karma. So what are the two aspects? One is Jnana Yoga and one is Karma Yoga. So like elements are there, some 106 elements are there. You want to divide, you cannot tell all the 106 elements. You will be grouping them into 7 groups. 7 groups, if you tell, that is sufficient, like that. Here also same thing. The grouping has been made. Bhakti Yoga will be falling under Karma Yoga only, as far as Mahabharatam is concerned, and also Bhagavad Gita is concerned. Bhakti Yoga, people will be telling, in that fashion, if you begin to tell Bhakti Yoga is there, Dhyana Yoga is there, some people will be telling that Pranayama will be there, then some people will be telling some other aspects. Nowadays, people will be telling different. Yoga has lost its meaning also, they have lost, because they will be telling what is called Jet Yoga. These type of things also have coming into the picture. So all those things we don't do. What we will do doing is that two ways. One is Jnana Yoga, one is Sankhya Karma Yoga. Bhakti will be falling under Karma Yoga. In that way, we have to understand.
ధన్యవాదాలు గురుజీ.
There are some. Okay, who wants to speak? There are a few questions in the chat box. Is moksha the last phase of life?
It is the last phase of life itself. This is the end of all lives. Moksha, when a person attains moksha, there will not be any rebirth. No rebirth. It is a state of some bliss. In that bliss, you will be there. Chaitanya, we will be submerging yourself with Chaitanya. Jivatma will be submerging in Paramatma. In that way, it will be there. It will remain like that. There will not be any birth at all.
Okay. And next question is mixture of bad name and good name. Way to abode. How to correlate means some people tell bad, some good about that person. The question is, I think, not complete. Maybe that, some people say good and some people say bad. Where we understand that maybe the reason.
Maybe some activity, some people perceive it as good activity, some people perceive it as bad activity. Maybe that may be the idea, I don't know.
What do you want to say? Unmute and speak.
హలో
పురుషోత్తం
సార్
హరి ఓం. ఇప్పుడు కొందరు నోట్ల వీళ్ళు మంచి పనులు చేశారంటారు, కొందరు చెడు చేశారంటారు. అప్పుడు ఎలాగ స్వర్గమా అని నరకమని ఇట్టు చెప్తారు, ఇది మోక్షమని ఎలా అంటారు?
Actually, define certain activity as good, bad is very difficult. Because you see that we will be seeing so many examples of that nature. One person, we call him as a great nationalist. That is called, he fought for the sake of freedom. Some other country will label him as a terrorist. So in that way, whether it is a good one or bad one, we don't know. So this is the reason why ultimately what the people tell is that whatever activity you are doing, that activity is going to indulge in himsa. That activity is going to do some damage to some other person. That is actually papam. But if the overall picture, if you say take into consideration, suppose by virtue of your bad activity, if it is going to serve the purpose of the entire society, maybe sometimes it is good only. It is good activity only. So that is why normally people sitting in this what is called, we can't judge people in that fashion, because sometimes the same example only, if you take this say for our freedom fighters are there. We feel that they have done some punyam. But there are other countries, Britain people may be thinking that these people are terrorists only, these people are bad people only. So thing is that how to distinguish. Thing is that if you are Bhagat Singh is there, Bhagat Singh for that matter, if he is doing some activity by virtue of which a himsa is going to happen, that himsa activity is actually bad only. But by virtue of doing a small himsa, it is going for a bigger cause. Bigger cause means for good activity for the purpose of the society as a whole. That is again a good activity. So that has to be decided, means the deciding activity actually, that is why the punya, papam and all these things will be taken care by Paramatma only. Because whether you have to do with consciousness, that is more important. With all consciousness, you are not supposed to harm a person. That is more important. The consciousness, if you leave out and you are doing the activity, some other person is telling about you good, bad, that you leave it. According to your own consciousness, whether your activity is going for a larger good by virtue of doing a small bad thing, or you are doing a bad thing only for your own sake, personal sake. This is actually the attachment which you have with that particular activity with yourself. Whether you are doing that activity for your thing, something of that nature, then it is not a punyam only. What you have to do is that for a social cause, for a general purpose, if you are doing some activity and that activity is going to help a larger good, then it is fine only. So in that way, it is very difficult to distinguish which is good and which is bad. These are relative terms. So this is good and bad are relative terms. What is good for me may not be good for you. What is morally correct for me may not be morally correct for you. So it is very difficult to distinguish. That is why only general universal principles are designed. Normally, ahimsa is there, loka sangraha is there, ultimate social good is there. This type of activities people will be invoking. So it is normally a social good. Nowadays, what we call is that environmental friendliness, social good, and larger good activity, and not emitting this what is called chlorofluorocarbon gases. These type of things we will be discussing nowadays, because it is actually larger activity, larger good we have to take into the picture. World as a whole, if you take, and your activity is going to do some greatness, good for the entire whole thing. And by virtue of this, a small 1 or 2% may be affected, no problem, because you can't do good without doing some harm to some persons. Because if you want to do some greater social good, sometimes you may not be doing service to some people. But you have to leave it only. Because when you do social good, great good you are doing, some people will object. You can't help for that. So you have to leave it like that. So in that way, it is difficult to judge, of course. That is the reason why those type of things will be taken care by God only, will be taken care of. And as far as our conscious is there, you have to act according to your consciousness. When there is a difficulty in discriminating between good or bad, your consciousness will be deciding. That consciousness should be again clean consciousness should be there. For that, you have to do this type of activity, because my consciousness says that I have to kill, not like that. For that reason only, this activity like religion is required. Religion means this type of activity is required. People say that I don't want to be religious, I want to be spiritual person. Not possible also, because that is only a saying only. In order to attain that spiritual base, you need to go through the process of this religious process only. You have to do karma, yoga, go there like that. That process you have to go there. Then only that chitta shuddhi will be happening. In that stage, with that consciousness, if you do that any activity, that activity, good, bad, you only can decide it.
Sometimes by forcefully we need to do some with conscious only, by higher upself process we do bad things. Other case, how can we correlate?
Because when you are working for an organization, say organization you are working, some higher boss will be telling that you do bad things only. Then as far as possible, if it is possible to bend the rule, something of that nature, you should not break the law. Breaking the law is always not permitted. By suppose a rule has come from higher side, you should do this activity. That the activity is going to do some social harm. What you have to do is that you are not supposed to break the law, because as long as you are working there, you have to go by the swadharma only. You have to follow that dharma, because the punyam and papam will be taken care by the higher official only. You have to follow. Otherwise, what you have to do is that you can't avoid it. You have to come out. If your consciousness is saying that it is so bad, you have to come out only. Otherwise, if you continue there, you have to follow the tools only. That is more important. Otherwise, if you stay there, and suppose you are an organization where you are working, your higher bosses will be telling that the e-waste is there, whatever e-waste is there, put it in the water, river, and your consciousness will not permit that you should do that activity. This is the ethical dilemmas, what we call now. Ethical dilemmas are so many ethical dilemmas we come across in life. Because it is not that easy to follow. Because your the organization has dictated you that you put it in the water. Nobody will observe you. So if you put it like that, you may be doing disservice to the society. But sitting here, you don't want to do it. Then what you have to do is that people say that at that time you try to what is called enlighten your bosses that this is a bad activity. Maybe you may be getting bad name in the public. Your brand name will be getting bad image. These type of things you have to tell them and then see that the rule is removed. But as long as the rule is there, you have to follow it only because you are working in the organization. You can't avoid it. Then you think that you are not anyway, whatever work you are doing, nishkama karma you do. It is not nisangatvam. It is the order given by higher official. I am following it. Satya Harishchandra did the same thing, no? Satya Harishchandra, he was asked by that official, that is called the Chandala. He was in charge of the Smasana Vatika. He will be asking him to do some bad activity, good activity, whatever that is there. Whoever comes here, collect 5 rupees, and then only you entertain the person for this ritual, funeral ritual. When his wife comes taking his son only, then he tells go and bring 5 rupees, then only I will do this activity. Why he has done like that? Because he is working under the orders of some higher person. He can't override it because he doesn't have an option. Good, bad, whatever it may be. Some person will be coming in dire need of money is not there. What I should do? Even then you can't do it because it is rule is given by higher official. You can't violate it. Otherwise, you have to impress upon those higher officials that this is bad thing, and then see, ensure that they also fall in your line. Otherwise, you have to do your activity. Then with nishkama karma, nisangatvam, you feel that I am not doing it. This is on the orders of organization I am doing. I am here. I am an instrument in the place of organization. Otherwise, if consciousness is not at all permitting, you have to leave the organization because adharmic organizations we are not supposed to work. But by force, if you have to work, no other job is there, then you have to do this activity. Nothing wrong. You don't get any punya papa out of it.
Okay. What is the relevance of Mahabharata with regard to management, economics, and administration at present? What are the social welfare aspects of Raga Dharma?
You have to give me one more week time, sir.
I agree with you, sir. I agree with you.
One more week, if you can give, maybe we'll be discussing one day administration, one day some other thing. Because believe it or not, Mahabharata, if you go there, how a sevaka has to work. Sevaka dharmas. One big portion is there. Sevaka, how a sevaka has to behave. How a husband has to behave with his wife. That is one big story. Big is there. One how a wife should behave with the husband and family members. One more issue is there. How a lady should behave. How a man should behave in the society. Like this, so many aspects are discussed in Mahabharata. And Rajaniti, of course, a lot of Rajaniti is discussed. How a king should be there. Good king, bad king, and so many issues are they have discussed. Not possible to discuss at a simple question. Maybe another 1 week if organization means, then we will be discussing one after another, maybe in that fashion.
Okay. As per Mahabharatam, who all have achieved moksha?
Moksha achievement, I don't think in the Mahabharata, even Dharmaraja also goes to Swargaloka only. Moksha, nobody, it is written down. So it is actually this is Upakhyanas are there, no? Upakhyanas means like Mudgala. Like this type of persons, it is there, they have attained moksha. They have attained moksha like that it is mentioned. But as far as the main characters are concerned, either Kauravas or Pandavas, nobody has attained moksha. Everybody is Swargam only. Because Swargarohana Parvam we are having. Moksha attainment Parvam is not there in Mahabharata. Moksha attainment, nobody has attained moksha. As far as the main characters are concerned. But Upakhyanas are there, no side stories are there. No? In the side stories we come across different stories wherein great personalities are discussed. Those persons have attained, like Mudgala, they have attained moksha. But other persons, it is not there. Dharmaraja, Bhima, Arjuna, nobody. And all Duryodhana and all the sons, all Vidura and all these persons, nobody, nothing is there. Again, by born, and again going on like that.
What about Bhishma?
Bhishma also not there, no sir. Bhishma is actually that one of the 8 brothers, no. Ashtavasulu. Ashtavasulu is the last person. Because he must have become Ashtavasu again. He is one more personality only, no. Not Mocham. There, if he commits any mistake again he has to burn here. Because at the 8 persons, out of the 8 persons, 1 person has committed some mistake. Because of this reason, he was born in as a Bhishma. And again, he goes back as a Ashtavasuvas, one of the Ashtavasuvas. And again, if he commits a mistake, again he has to come back. Not Mosham.
Okay. What is the purpose of life? If it is only to achieve moksha, then need not take birth itself, or any purpose to live, any purpose of life to live in this world.
Life has, yes, sir. Life is actually, what is the purpose of life means? Purpose of life is you have to spend your life for the sake of some other person only, to be frank. If it is for your own sake, means it again is body consciousness only. Body mind consciousness will be there. Because when you are, because people will be, many people, persons will be born. They will be born, they will grow up, they will go to offices, earn money, and again what they will be doing ultimately is that at the end of the day, they will be bequeathing so much of property, give to their sons, daughters, and all those persons. They die. And what is the use of that life? You have to think in the larger perspective. You have to take into consideration. If you take in the larger context, because there some time back there was an argument. I went to some seminar. I was there. At that time, somebody was arguing. And what is the contribution of Shankaracharya? Nothing. Why nothing? Because why nothing means has he done anything to the poor people? Anything, any food he has given to any poor person? Nothing is there. No social activity he has done. What is the use of him? So here that is how some person was commenting. Because here nowadays, because after seeing this all freebies, election purposes and all these things, everybody feels that that person is great who gives something free to you. That person is the only great person. Here, there, the Shankaracharya, how can you compare Shankaracharya with any other person? Shankaracharya has created so much of vocabulary in the world as a whole, so much of verbal vocabulary, whatever, so much of knowledge he has created. The knowledge is spread also. The knowledge is actually igniting so many minds. The knowledge, by virtue of igniting so many minds, what is his contribution? It is not giving food alone is great. You ignite the person's mind. You make him great. And he, so that Shankaracharya has given such forceful thoughts he has given, that with that thoughts, if you begin to trade in that particular path, you are going to achieve great things, very, very great things you can achieve. Because who has done this one? Because he has done for the sake of other persons only, he has created that entire what is called database, a great database. The great database over which a lot of works are being done, and a lot of people are working over it, and a lot of people are going in the way of Advaita. And that is the greatness of Shankaracharya. You can't compare. Shankaracharya need not go to a colony and he can serve food some people and give some what is called rice for 2 rupees, no, not like that. He has done something great, no? Because that is what we have to do. Because each and every person, that is why only we are having 3 runas, what they tell, 3 runas, Rishi runam, Pitru runam, and Deva runam. Rishi runam means what? Because Rishis have given us so much of knowledge. What we are supposed to do, at least you give that knowledge to your next generation of people. Your own sons, daughters, at least you can give. Make them understand our culture. The rich cultural heritage should not break down, no? If the rich cultural heritage is getting breaking down at a particular point of time, because we don't read, we don't want to tell anybody, then what will happen? See, after attaining age of 50, 60, 70 years also, nobody has read Mahabharata, nobody has read Ramayana means. And what is the purpose for which rishis have given that one? You do that activity. If you do that activity, what will happen is that at least you will be passing on that tradition to some other person. The tradition will be rich. Rich tradition is there. A lot of things which we have to learn is there. Whatever management you talk about, all the management principles, most of the management principles are there in Mahabharata. It is there. Only thing is that you have to glean. Psychological aspects are there. Understanding the psychology of other person, it is there. So many social issues are discussed here, and how a man has to be react with the society, interact with the society. Everything is there in Mahabharata. What is more important is that Mahabharata, Ramayana, this type of granthas, we have to read it, and we have to read it with a clean slate, because with not with any what we can call any prejudice, you should not read it. Even before taking it, it is a religion book. I don't want to read it. There are some people will be telling like that. If Bhagavad Gita has to be introduced as a textbook in the syllabus, immediately there will be people will be commenting. It is Kashayi Karana. And here, what is there in Bhagavad Gita? Have you read it at least once? No, not at all. Even knowing anything, it says that it is labeled as a religious book. And you believe it or not, in the entire Bhagavad Gita, the word Hindu is never mentioned. Hindu word is not at all there in Bhagavad Gita. Everything they will be discussing about Shama, Dama, Antarendriya Nigraha, Bahyendriya Nigraha, all these type of things only, good things only they will be discussing. What you are supposed to be in the life. You should not do any harm to any other person. You should not do himsa to other person. These type of things will be discussing again and again. Is it bad thing? People will not read the book. People will be telling that it is actually a religious book. Who will tell that? People who are there in Hindu religion only will be telling it, not other religious people. Other religious people may be learning or may not be learning. If suppose some other religion people who are commenting, it is acceptable because they say that it is a Grantha of Hindus. Not the Hindu Grantha at all. This is actually, and there are some people who will be criticizing Manudharma Shastra. Manudharma Shastra is not a Hindu book. It is a law book, a code of conduct for the law. It is a code of conduct. It is designed like that. Smriti. Manusmriti is actually a law book. In those days, according to the social situation that are prevailing in those times, he has written down certain rules and regulations. He has written down like our constitution. Maybe after hundred years, if you take out our constitution, it is a useless document only, because depending upon the situation of over 100 years. So at that time, if you criticize the constitution of present day, what will happen? According to the present day social conditions and all this constitution has been designed. Maybe the constitution what was there, our constitution in 1950s is not the constitution now. What is the constitution now may not be a constitution after hundreds of years. So similarly, the Manudharma Smriti can't be criticized like that. People will be criticizing. Some people go there and burn the book, and everybody will be burning the book. The useless activity. Nobody is understanding the what is called significance of all these things. No, we have to understand the significance. Why Manusmriti is written? Because for that situation, that law book has been written down. Now the law, those laws need not be followed. Actually, we are not following the Manudharma Shastra, to be frank. Manudharma Shastra, so many things have been told which we are not following at all. Only thing is that whether to burn it or not to burn it only we are doing without reading the book. Bhagavad Gita also same thing, same fate. People will be criticizing Bhagavad Gita, bad book, religious book, Hindu book. It is not a Hindu book, it is a bad, not a bad book. Nobody is reading it. If you read Bhagavad Gita, your mind will be refined like anything.
What is Asangatam and then Nisangatam?
Sangatvam, Nisangatvam, sir. Asangatvam, Nisangatvam both are same. Sangatvam means attachment. Attachment to the work which you are doing. Nisangatvam means it is actually detachment. Detachment and attachment. Whatever work you do, it attachment if you do, what will happen is that it is actually binding you. Sangatvam will be there because I am doing this activity. If I am, we see people. If I don't go to the office, nothing will happen in the office. If I resign, this has gone, and the office will go to the waste. And have you seen anything has happened like that? If you resign and come out, what will happen? The organization will be going on like that. Men may come and men may go, but things will go on forever. Like that it is there, no? Famous proverb is there. Nobody is indispensable in the world for any activity for that matter. And when Nehru died, people were thinking in India, there is no prime minister at all. Who is the Prime Minister after Nehru nowadays? But so many persons have come subsequently. Better persons are also come. The thing is that here nobody is indispensable in the world. People feel that I am the person who is doing activity. If I am not there, this activity will not be run. That activity will run. Nothing will happen to you. You are not there in this world earlier, and you will not be there after a few years. It is actually a temporary phase in life, because we are born upon this earth as a guest. We will be there as a guest in this world for some days. After that, after some days, we leave the place. That is there, no? That is why the famous poem is there, Dubur Ramredi poem. Antamuleni Bhuvanamantayu Puratana Panthashala Vishranti Gruhambu అందు ఇరు సంజలు రంగుల వాకిలు ధరాక్రాంతులు పాదుషాలు బహరాం జమిషీడులు వేలువేలుగా సుఖించిపోయిరెటకో పెరవారికి చోట సొగుసులు. So maybe English people may not be understanding this. Thing is that this broad idea is that many persons will be born on this earth. They will be there on this. They will be enjoying on this planet. They are the actors on this planet, and they will be going away. They are the sun and the moon are two. What is called the two doors. In this door they will enter, and that door they exit. That is that here when they are there, they will be acting like a cine as a film screen. That is the idea here. So here nobody is there in this set permanently. We feel that we are permanent, and you believe it or not, that is only Bhumi Nadiyanna, Bhumi Pakkura Navu, like that. So many people have come here and they have waged many wars and all these things, thinking that this land belongs to me. The Tob region in India, that is actually a famous battlefield for many wars. Many people fought for that particular region. They were fighting that this is my region, this is my land. And the land which you are staying now is was a land for some other person earlier, was a land for some other person earlier, and the land will be laughing at us. This man is putting the board. This land belongs to Nagaraja Rao. Where is Nagaraja Rao? After some days, Nagaraja Rao is not there, nobody is there. And then some other person will be putting his name. The land will be laughing at us. So nothing is there, nothing is permanent. It's like that. So we have to think in the overall perspective. If we see, the purpose of life is to do some social good, to do some social activity, so that people's mind can be ignited, or do some other activity. Every person can't do all those things, only one aspect. Each person will be having one strength. Some person is having the strength of telling Mahabharata, Ramayana. Some person will be having the strength of the Jivodhara of temples. Some person will be having a strength of doing some other dharmic activity. Do some dharmic activity for the sake of the world as a whole with Nisangatvam again. Nisangatvam means don't attach. Don't put your name everywhere. That is a Nisangatvam. Don't get attached also. Suppose you do some activity with great fervor and all these things, and somebody will take over that one and say that it is mine only. Then it is my activity. Then you don't feel that it is something bad. It is actually you have done with Nisangatvam, Nirmohata, Nishkarma, Nishkama Karma. If somebody is taking that name, that he has done it, don't be bad. Think that okay, it is for the social good only. His name he is using, okay, let him use it. My name is not being used. To that extent, you have to grow. That is there. Suppose you develop a park for the sake of the society as a whole. And after every finishes, some politician comes there and he inaugurates it and says that it is done, and that thing is done by me only. And people also will say that he is a person who has done it. Then don't grudge for it. Nisangatvam. You have why you have done it? You have done it for the sake of a social cause. You have done it, not for your sake. Then leave it like that. So somebody is taking the name. Let them take the name. If you go to that extent, that is called mosham. Can you do that? Can you rise to that level? For that rising to that level, you have to follow karma yoga. That is what the Bhagavad Gita tells. If you feel that I have done this work, and he has taken my name, no, what is your name? Your name is not there. His name is also not there after some time. Some other person will come and he says that it is I have done it. So many persons will. Success has many fathers. Failure has none. That is there.
Okay, we will close with one last question, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is the relation between Danda and Dharma?
Danda and Dharma. The Danda, normally Rajadharma is there, no? Rajadharma is there, means Rajadharma should be having that Danda, they tell. Without Danda, without what is called inflicting fear, people will not follow dharma. That is the reason why Dandadhari people will be calling. Even now also police people will be taking one danda, that is called lati, they will be moving around. And that thing is that the main idea is that people fear. People fear for the person who wields the stick. That is why danda and dharma, they go together for Raja Dharma alone. But for other people, dharma is not like that. Not necessarily followed by danda. You can actually change the person. You can also pursue some other person. You can actually goad some person to do dharmic activities, and by virtue of his persuasion and all this is, people will be following dharma. Dharma will be actually, some people will be following dharma on their own by reading the scriptures. On their own, they will be doing these dharmic activities. There are people who do dharmic activities. So somebody is seeing and somebody is not seeing, they will be doing dharmic activities. Then conscious is according to consciousness, they are not working. So for what is called for establishing dharma in the society, if that Raja is there, danda is required. For other people, danda is not required. It is actually persuasion, by persuasion, and also educating the other person. And you also should be having the consciousness. With consciousness, you have to work. And dharma will be holding the society in that fashion. Because in earlier days, when villages were there, there was no king, no other higher activity, but people will be behaving according to dharma, because for the fear of what we can call religion. The Swarga is there, so Naraka is there, Punyam is there, Papam is there, and for all this reason, people will be doing like that. And I was telling now, Napoleon Bonaparte was famously telling, even if there is no religion, you have to invent a religion to rule the world like that. Thing is that because people fear religion, because of the fear of the religion only, people will be following dharma. That is also there. You need not have the person. Even now also, most of the villages, who is there, who is ruling that village, everybody will be following that dharma on their own. If they follow dharma, what will happen is that there is no necessity of going to court, there is no necessity of going to higher places for dharma and all this is. They can work, because I should not do harm to some other person. I should not occupy the property of some other person. I should have the feeling. Other person also should have the same feeling. I should help him. I should, if any difficulty is there, everybody should help. That is, everybody, if a person is in difficulty, do dhanam for him. This type of dharmic activity is there. That is, dharmic culture is there in the society. There is no necessity of law and order. So that is it. Dharma need not be necessarily followed by, need not be accompanied with danda. It can sustain on its own, because dharma can sustain on its own without danda also. But there are bad people will be there. In order to discipline those persons, danda is required. Otherwise, people will not follow. That is also there. In fact, Mahatma Gandhi, when he tells that what is the state which he was visualizing, he was telling that it is anarchy. Anarchy is a state which Gandhiji was aspiring for. Anarchy is where there is no government, there is no rule at all. There is no rule. When there is no rule, what will happen? No government will be there, no person, no prime minister, no president, nothing is there. People have to run like that. That is anarchy. That is what he was visualizing. People will be behaving good, but it is an ideal, very idealistic society. It is not a possible society nowadays, particularly not at all possible. But it is, he visualized it like that. We should have a society wherein there should not be any government. That government is best with government's least. So he was inspired by that theory. He was inspired by some 3 or 4 persons. Out of that one person, I don't know, some foreign name is there. That person has in fact told that that government is best which governs the least. So that principle Mahatma Gandhi adopted, and he visualized a society of anarchy society. There should not be any danda, no government. That not possible, maybe. Because a lot of bad people are emerging out in Kali Yuga. Not possible. Maybe it is possible in Kruta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and all those types. Treta Yuga and those types. But now it is not at all possible.
Thank you so much, sir. We have taken more time from you. Thank you so much. And on behalf of Veda Samskruti Samiti and all participants of this webinar, I heartfully thank you for the wonderful lectures in this week. And this week will be remembered And also we have videos, we'll keep listening to them whenever we have, we need some motivation on all these aspects. Now, we will, with your permission, we'll go for Pradhana, sir. Okay. Saradaji, please.
हरिः ओम् स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितो ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्राः पुत्रिणः सन्तु पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधनाः सधनाः सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतं सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान् मा प्रमदः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कच्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सर्वे जना सुखिनो भवन्तु स्वस्ति.
ధన్యవాదములండి శారద గారు. Thank you so much. Now let's go for national anthem. Krishna Kumar garu, please.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल वंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हिंद.